Kwaito starts unwrapping a bundle of money. MaNtuli says, I was protecting you from Boyki. MaNtuli replies, it wasn't the right time, my child. Then Kwaito lays the money on a pile of clothes and asks, bricks and pillows? To which MaNtuli responds, really? She offers to help, saying, I can help you take it out. But Kwaito refuses, telling her, no, mama. Please leave. I need to think. And he repeats, please leave. I need to think. After she goes, Kwaito unwraps another bundle of money and says, I can't believe any of this. He counts the cash and adds, this is all I have left. Then looks down determinedly and states, I have to make this work. Meanwhile, MaNtuli watches from afar, thinking to herself, what am I going to do now? Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Shay enters and greets Mr. Como, who is eating at the table. Melita mentions they are heading to the park, and after they leave, Paxton and Shay discuss a bag containing spray paint. Shay encourages Paxton to use it as therapy to express his emotions, and Paxton agrees, nodding and saying, okay, you're right, with Shay affirming, yeah, you're right. Back in the bedroom, Kwaito is getting ready when MaNtuli knocks and enters. Kwaito asks, Zamo, man, what do you want and what's going on? MaNtuli confronts him, saying, there's nothing to explain. You stole corruption money. Kwaito responds, why would I steal money and stash it in the base of the bed you sleep in? MaNtuli tells him, so you just let me and my brothers scour this whole place looking for it? Kwaito explains, I didn't want you to think you stole the money, and adds, I was protecting you from Boyki-san. MaNtuli then asks, would you have even told me you'd taken the money if we hadn't found out about Boyki's arrest? Kwaito replies, Zamokule, I tried to talk to you, but it wasn't the right time. Finally, MaNtuli says, I'm sorry, and Kwaito says, it's okay. Over at the restaurant, Kat answers a phone call saying, my friend, I've never seen your mom crying like that, and tells the person, please let me know when she's alright and when you found the money. After hanging up, Bra Boyki enters and Kat says, I'm sorry your caucus with your journalist friend didn't happen. Bra Boyki responds, some accidents are fatal. We don't want that. And Kat asks, is that a threat? Bra Boyki says, I make good on my promises. Just ask that journalist. And Kat presses, so you admit you had a hand in her accident? Bra Boyki denies it, saying, I didn't admit anything. I'm just advising you and your friend to stop spreading lies about me. Kat insists, how many times must I tell you? I never worked with Fumesa. Even if I had, do you think I'd want my name all over the papers? Then Kat questions how Bra Boyki got in and calls the security guard who escorts Bra Boyki out as he resists. Kat watches and reflects, saying, I'll be in touch. Back at home, MaNtuli confides in Stoko in the kitchen, discussing Zamo's newspaper coverage and blaming Fumeza for spreading lies. Stoko questions the legitimacy of the tender, and MaNtuli recalls Fumeza's past interview. The conversation shifts to Beki's death, with MaNtuli expressing grief and insurance issues, but she declines Stoko's offer to help, leading to a tense parting. Meanwhile, Menier is at his desk, reading a newspaper and expressing concern over corruption links. Onof enters for a delivery, and they debate the implications, with Onof hinting at Menier's connections, but he denies involvement and stresses that the truth will come out. Over at the shop, MaNtuli buys snacks and Salamina comments on his money usage, leading to a brief interaction about life changes. A phone call interrupts, and there are side discussions involving Paxton's ex and others about gossip and personal issues. Back at the restaurant, Stoko talks with a teacher about students' improved marks, and Kwaito and Kat join in. The conversation turns to Bra Boyki's corruption, with Stoko sharing family problems and considering contacting Fumeza. But the teacher warns against it due to Fumeza's tendency to twist the truth. In the hospital room, Fumeza is lying in bed and tells the captain, you released Bokanyo Ramasemola from jail, and asks, why? So he can come and kill me? The captain responds, "I work with facts and evidence, Phumeza," and says that having a pillow doesn't prove intent to kill. He advises her to take it easy and updates her on Clement's accident, noting a pattern of witness intimidation. Phumeza insists he investigate and he leaves her worried. Meanwhile, Lieto, Thabo, Kwaito, and Kat gather to discuss tenders. Lieto suggests focusing on the private sector, while Kwaito proposes calling Phumeza to stop the articles. Thabo accuses Kwaito of righteousness, and Kat questions the consequences if friends go to jail. Lieto reminds them of the children involved, and they review a phone chat before Kat leaves, with Thabo expressing doubts about Kat's loyalty. Kat then seeks out Mania at the restaurant, where they share their stress over the corruption allegations. Kat says, "I've seen better days," and Mania explains his lack of sleep, leading them to agree to visit the mayor to clear their names and hold Boyki accountable. Back at home, MaNtuli is exhausted. When Uncle Sfiso visits, they discuss ignored calls and funeral arrangements, focusing on the need for insurance money for the tombstone, and decide to get some rest. Finally, in a room with a large table, Bra Boyki is sitting when the mayor enters and confronts him about an offer made at the police station. Bra Boyki proposes resigning and retracting statements, but the mayor rejects it, stating, "Never put a man's family in danger." After guests leave, Bra Boyki sits alone, deep in thought, reflecting on the turn of events. That's all for today. Make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next video.